Hello everyone, and welcome to the first history type of video on this channel. Anyways, today we have a pretty interesting topic, and if you aren't a modded Terraria player, or just couldn't tell by the thumbnail, I'm of course talking about the Tremor Remastered mod for Terraria, and more specifically its lifespan and all the successes, failures, and the future of it. Now, to give a bit of a backstory, I started playing modded Terraria in about April of 2017. So there's of course two mods that everyone was talking and recommending to. Now, the first one was Thorium, which needs a whole different story to explain, as it's basically the opposite of Tremor. And of course, there was Tremor. Now, I will mention, researching for this video, it wasn't the easiest. Having to look through like dozens of videos and lots of forum posts for devs, comments, and stuff on it really takes a lot of time. So if you guys could leave a like and subscribe, it would ensure lots more content like this comes out, and maybe even something else too. Anyways, let's get back to the Tremor mod. As previously mentioned, the Tremor mod was a mod for Terraria that was updated to 1.3, aka the Tremor Remastered mod. And before this update, it was highly regarded as one of the greatest mods of Terraria. But after the 1.3 version came out, let's just say it wasn't that great. It was highly criticized and shameful, to put it lightly, since some people really like to go off and criticize the mod. Like, geez. Okay, so the Tremor mod includes over 1,600 items with new armor sets, weapons for each class, which include throwing, accessories, new materials, and banners for every mob. Pretty cool. 21 new bosses. Every boss has its own AI, whether it's good or not, up to debate. Loot and treasure bags with unique expert items. Maybe not unique sprites. 13 new NPCs. Each NPC has its own stuff to sell. Many NPCs also sell new things after certain bosses are defeated. Standard for Terraria. 2 new invasions. New invasions with new interesting mobs, loot, and also with new soundtracks. Probably the best part of it. The new glacier mini biome. A biome that spawns in the snow biome and has new mobs and loot. Yeah. New ores. Some generating in the beginning of the game, such as this, and others only generated after certain bosses are defeated. Trem mode, a joke. No, I'm just kidding. The post Moonlord game mode with its own ores, lots of new content such as armors, weapons, materials, harder monsters, and hard bosses. Yay! A new class called the Alchemist class, absolutely new. Here to hear first, folks. With new damage type, weapons, armor, and accessories. The Nova Celestial Pillar, which is just for the Alchemist class endgame. And by endgame, I mean before Trem mode. 11 new soundtracks, the amazing tracks for different bosses and events made by Delicious Saturn. Would recommend this, as this is the best thing in the Tremor mod. The soundtrack's amazing. Amazing neat sprites made by did I say our wonderful spriters, and also support of boss checklist mod, pretty standard. Now I will show you some of the devs for the mod, or should I say all of them, but I won't be going through the specifics of them, as I don't feel like that's important to the story as much. Sure, they're the devs, but only a certain few individuals I've really had to look at and study to get the whole picture. Now you might ask yourselves, how could a mod with this size of a team and this side of the content be reduced so far? Well, that's a long story, a story that you will now learn about. The Tremor mod, according to my research, dates at least as far back as October of 2014, when the mod's founder, aka Xandium, mentioned his mod and a couple of problems he was having, and he would continue to do this along with updates and suggestions and things, which to a lot of people was great, because not many mod developers were as transparent and as cooperative with the community as the Tremor dev. So this sparked a lot of excitement in their community. And another thing to mention is that he created this mod before 1.3, which means before TModLoader, which is how people really found out about mods. And before that, you either had to download them from websites or forum posts, or you had to use tconfig, the precursor, in quotes, of TModLoader, which not many people knew about. So to see this much support for Tremor was amazing. And we would see the exact support for it later when he released a poll on the mod, to which an overwhelming amount of people showed support for. 92.5% of people, to be exact, of the 187 person votes, with a lot of comments that were super positive and good expectations for the mod and its future. And it wasn't just on the Terraria forums that this was getting popular, it was all over YouTube too, with creators such as Bomb Productions, Happy Days, Pedguin, Chippy Gaming, and even Game Raiders 101. The public view of Tremor was widely received with positive outlook. And just looking at the comments on both Happy and Chippy's videos, at least from 4 years ago, you could see everyone's excitement for the mod and all the content it would be adding. And even like in the future, additions in 1.1 and 1.2, and bosses such as the Coglord motherboard and the Tiki spirit thingy thing, if you know what I mean, all are great. And even when the 1.3 update was released to the public, we got to see Tremor, which was really interesting for the first time. While we were all busy with this, we would soon later realize that something wasn't right. Now, in the beginning of Tremor's life cycle, things weren't always happiness and rainbows as it may seem. For example, the mod devs were accused in the beginning of their forum posts for stealing other people's sprites without their permission, and even if the devs calmed down this case, which they did, this still didn't go away. Because, for a little bit of context, the 1.3 or Lunar update just came out for Terraria, and the Tremor devs started to plan for it, the new update for it, its own 1.3. However, with the new update came a new name, a new infamous name at that: Tremor Remastered. Tremor Remastered promised to completely rework one of Terraria's biggest and best mods into something more, but that's not exactly how it turned out. Because while many people did see this in the beginning as what they were showing off, some people grew a little skeptical. This also included the problem stealing sprites again, which had come up, and unlike last time where it was solved, this eventually led to the downfall. But first, we would like to take one look at one of these individuals, who is one of the sole reasons why Tremor is one of the most hated mods in the Terraria community. And that YouTuber's name was Game Raiders 101. Now, you might not exactly know about this because Game Raiders' rise to fame was fairly recently in Terraria's life cycle, like more like a year before 1.4. And if you haven't heard about it, basically, when 1.3 Tremor Remastered came out, Game Raiders had heard a couple bit of the controversy surrounding it, and he's thought that maybe he should give it a fresh try and see if it's really bad enough. However, he did something which would kind of ruin his experience even more, and that was to play the new class, aka Alchemy, which did not go well for him. While he did cheat in the Tremor mod because he couldn't take it, it still showed how bad the Tremor mod is and how unfair and unjust it was. And other people saw this and also grew suspicious of the mod at the same time. However, it did not become the real big boy until Game Raiders released his video, which was the real nail in the coffin. Basically his review of the Tremor mod, which got over 130,000 views. Now, his video brought up many points where he tried to see the pros and cons of Tremor, and there was a lot more cons than pros, such as unoriginal boss design with the AI, stolen sprites, the gameplay being a little bit unbalanced, and by a little bit I mean very. And the only good things you could think about were the sprites, which again might have been stolen or not, and the music, which really was the only good thing about the mod. Now, thanks to this video, Tremor's view of the community had finally been shattered. Everyone now knew that Tremor, instead of being a cool mod, was the mod that stealed sprites, had really bad balancing game issues, and was known to be as the worst mod in Terraria. This is the day when Tremor finally died. Thanks to this video, as I just said, the view on Tremor really declined, and even with some bug fixes after this, no one wanted to work with sprite sealers or wanted to play a mod like this. So the developers announced that they would be quitting development of the Tremor. And while this was basically the result of game renders, it was really a long build-up of suspicion and bad game design, and it ended up causing the death of the mod. However, even though the mod's death occurred, this didn't mean that the developers were out. For example, Zandium, as I mentioned before, started a new mod, which lots of people know about now, aka the Antiarius mod, which, as doing more research, did not realize that they actually finished, so I hope he's doing another thing right now. And another mod was also developed called the Split mod, which was another Tremor dev making a new mod. And this showed that new things could come out of people who had learned their lessons from their past mistakes. And if this wasn't enough, a new recreation of Tremor was on the works, sophisticatedly renamed Tremor 2. Whether or not that will be completed is another story for another day. So even in its now abysmal state in 2020, the Tremor mod can teach us a very valuable lesson. Originality is dead. Just kidding. But the lesson is that you don't put the effort, time, or even credibility into something, it will always fall short. Were the devs really bad people? I don't really think so, but they made the same mistake twice, which ultimately led to their downfall. So if the developers are hearing this, which I don't think they are, I want to wish them well and hope they are doing better with their current plans than before. However, if you want to see me suffer, if this video gets 25 likes in the next week, I will do a full playthrough of the Tremor mod, no questions asked. So thank you guys for watching. My name is Just the Joe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.